Well, the Effective Speaking Club should have a theater troupe just so those that are in it can express themselves and try to get over the anxiety of speaking in front of other people.
How does theater play into that?
When you're standing on the stage and you get all them people down there, you get a little claustrophobia and you need to, like now, pull it together and
That's okay. So what you're saying is you are genuine evidence of why we need to have
I'm very much evidence.
effective speaking, right?
Yes.
The biggest reason I think it's important for AI to have this theater troupe as attached to the effective speaking classes, not only does it help people get over their glossophobia, but it's also a way for people from different programs here to get together and work on something to make a lasting connection. So as we go beyond the school, we still have these friends that we made during these times.
It's really good networking, and for me personally, I work 40 hours a week. I'm a supervisor and my days are really hard, and then I come to school, and theater troupe is kind of like a release and a comedic way to get rid of some stress and just have some fun and make new friends.
I think it's important because it's one of the few clubs that allows everyone into it. It's not just geared towards one thing like graphic design, web design, filming or something like that. It's everyone can join. So you're meeting people from the different degrees here. You're also learning to speak better, to just joke around, have fun, and meet other people from the different career fields that you might not meet on another club. Because sometimes speaking out, it's easier to do it as someone else rather than yourself. And if you can do that enough and get exposed to it, eventually you're going to be able to do it on your own.
I think that the Art Institute of Ohio, Cincinnati, needs a theater troupe because it brings a bunch of the different factions of the school together, from culinary to interior design to video, and it helps us network to become friends with these other people that we normally wouldn't associate with. It helps to overcome our fear of public speaking and just makes us more capable of going out there in the real world and, you know, fighting for those jobs that we're going to need to have that effective speaking talents for.
Really, the theater troupe helps with everybody. Like if you're in fashion, you can help with costumes. If you're in animation, it helps you build up a character for yourself. You know, if you wanted to create a voice for something, or you know, this gets a character that you can write down in a sketchbook. If you're in film, it helps you to prepare for what you might actually deal with. If it goes a long ways, you know. And for the one thing, it's fun. It's not always going to be about work. Yeah, you'll feel it's hectic because you're writing down to like the small sliver of chance that you're going to screw up.
Like I'm an animator. Okay, I'm an animator. I'm one of those guys that's gonna be behind this green screen, behind that window. I'm not gonna, like, you're never gonna see me at all do any acting ever. Like there's no Denzel Washington scenes for me ever. So no. So this I think is important because it gives me a chance to actually put myself in a different element. But I mean, I'm a kooky guy anyway. Like this type of thing is something that I kind of believe I was made for. So I actually want to do it because I think it benefits your character, but it helps with like making friends, anything, all that good stuff.
Well, last quarter I did it and I met a whole bunch of my friends. Like I have entirely new friends that I never would have made in my normal classes because they're like most of my friends now are animation people and I'm not in animation, but they're awesome, so I'm glad I did it.
I think it's very important because it gives the students a chance to express themselves creatively other than just using their major, like culinary students. Okay, they can cook. Okay, we know that. That's why they're in culinary. But when you give a theater troupe, it gives them some more room for expression, whether they could go up there and do something that has to do with food or they can do it with something completely different. It gives them another avenue for creativity.
It helps kids kind of interact with other people, you know, it helps them, you know, they take a class to help speak publicly a little better, help them get over that stage fright, and it actually helps some of those kids do that. as well as they can learn about all these other characters and how other people act when they're put in some situations. But most of all, you know, it helps them better themselves in front of other people.
Theater is an art, and I've said this so many times. It's an art, and as an art school, I think it's important that we respect it as an art. We got animation, we got, you know, cooking, you got all sorts of different things. And drama is a very respectable art that's incorporated into each of these things, especially animation, which is my field of interest. So theater, acting, anything like that, it translates from film to animation just as well.
Because we don't have a lot of actors, we don't have any sort of program for acting, and for people in video production like me, you can't make movies without actors, you know? We need actors and stuff. I think theater troupe allows directors and, you know, people in video production to realize what talent we have here. If you just see people act on stage, you have an idea of they'd be good for, you know, whatever. It also gives the actors experience so that if they end up in a short film or whatever, they can already, you know, sort of try to portray certain characters, whatever.
So it's almost like a rough draft. It's like this practice swing.
Yeah, it gets you like in the whole thing, and I don't know, it gives you something to do, because honestly there's not a whole lot going on here, and it's nice to have activities that you can do and stuff like that.
Last quarter, I believe my answer was that we need an AI theater troupe because it helps promote communication and lets everyone understand each other. And I still believe that, but this quarter I would like to say because it lets me stroke my ego.
Without theater, there's no film, there's no live art. Yeah, you'd have had paintings and stuff, but there would be no acting finesse left in the world. I mean, part of the curriculum for film is we have one class for acting and directing, and in all honesty, I mean, a lot of times I don't think it's enough, especially for somebody who's looking at getting into maybe, you know, directing or producing or something with acting on the side. It definitely helps with people with stage fright, getting in front of cameras, you know, for interviews, stuff like that, articulation, emphasis on words. I mean, you know, we run a film department here, and the majority of the time, people that are in our student films are students from the school. You know, we pull actors out of classes and stuff like that. And you know, you got to try and on spot teach these people, you know, how to act, how to articulate words and stuff for the camera, and theater helps with that a lot.
Let you know that you're available, basically. And it's cool to do theater just to span you out and saying you can do acting, you can do directing, you can do this, you can do that, instead of just doing just one thing. That's what I feel.
It's something different. It's something that every different field can kind of come together and do. It's something I never did in high school, so it was kind of cool to come to college and you know, do things that I'd never done before and kind of just put myself out there. And I think a lot of students probably would like to do that.
Well, as always, it is just a great outlet for creativity. I mean, I go every quarter doing work project after work project, after guideline after guideline after guideline, after homework assignment after homework assignment. And all of it's sort of still, you know, what I need to learn, so not much my imagination so much as what I can do with what they've given me. Now this is something I can really bring myself into and make it my own while still working with a group of people to all experience it as one big, like, pure creation thing. There's no, you know, guidelines, there's not a lot of rules. I mean, there's basic rules of, you know, just regulation to follow. But at the same time, you have complete power over it. You can write the stories, you can write the dialogue, you can invent these characters, you can add some, you can get rid of some, you can revive them, renew them, redo them and revamp them till finally you have something you're so proud of. You just go, here, look at this. And you smile and sit back and watch, and everyone goes, wow, that's awesome. It's just something I love.
I find acting so much more enjoyable because I know what I want. Like, I know what I want to see happen. So when I'm acting, I don't have to have someone telling me, hey, you gotta do this. I already know what I want to do. So it's a lot easier to act when you're directing a play than I think if you were just an actor.
I kind of think it brings everyone together outside of class. Because like typically I'm like here, go to class, go home kind of thing. So, because I don't live on campus. Well, not on campus, but in the dorms or anything. So it's kind of like gets you more involved with everyone.
The way I handle 60% of the plays is I take it one step at a time, and having taken effective speaking with Eric Sprouse, it makes it a lot easier. You know how to work with words, and the experience really helps with this. I've been in this this is my third quarter, and I stutter a lot. This is my third quarter, so the experience pays off. You know, we learn by practicing. We learn from our mistakes, and practice makes perfect, and experience makes you even better. So that's the way I look at it.
The AI theater troupe is important because it's just a way for all of us to, you know, just let off some steam, just have fun. You know, we come up with some of these plays ourselves. Sometimes we write them. We cast and crew each other ourselves. There's not really much of a what's the word I'm looking for? Camaraderie. No, it's not much of like a process where we have to try out for parts. We all are getting to a point where we're starting to get to know each other more, and we kind of know who would be good for what parts, and we just kind of go and ask them, hey, can you be this part for me? And they pretty much choose whether or not they want to, and we just all get together, we have fun at our meetings, crazy times.
Theater is a form of art, and they don't have a whole bunch of that here, and I feel like it's making me come out of my shell because I'm doing something different, and it's something to enjoy. I just feel like I feel like it's needed because after my effective speaking class, I plan on continuing theater.
I came from this school. This is my second quarter here. I came to this school from another university, and originally I have my associate's degree in theater, and what theater did for me was it gave me a voice. It gave me a chance to discover myself. Out of high school, I didn't know who I was. They ask you your senior year of high school, what do you do when you want to grow up? I mean, they asked you that of juniors and seniors. I didn't know when I left for college. And having a group of people that kind of understand you, that kind of come at the same, kind of have the same issues as you do, kind of have the same background as you do, kind of have the same intellectual process as you do, because you're people that you get along with and people who understand you. And so theater was an important part of my life, and before I got here. And when I got here, I didn't know about the theater troupe until I talked to my old roommate, and she was involved in it before she graduated. Katie Loricella. And then Kathleen told me that you guys were doing the one act, so I was like, oh my God, I have to come. And it's nice to be back, to be involved, because theater does give you a voice. It gives you a chance to be creative, and I think that's one thing that this school is about. I mean, it's dedicated to the arts, and this is I think it's a natural extension of it. It gives you a chance to be able for your voice to be heard just in a different way.
You know, it's one of the first times, and this probably verbatim what I said last time, that you feel like we are at an art school when you're here. Like we're already weird, we already look the part, and we already act the part, but I mean, you know, we don't get to do a lot of stuff here that is like art. Everything is so much just paper and like it's just so much other stuff, and you're just like, when do I get to be creative? When do I get to have some fun? And you know, we laugh and we have a good time, we make other people laugh, and you know, it's all stressful, and that is like, you know, it kind of gives you that sense of family that you always feel like when you walk in here that you completely miss, because you know, all you do is go to class and everything's work and financial aid and everybody needs something from you, and you're just like, dude, seriously, what more do you want from me? And then you get here and we're all strange, but that's okay. And then we all are coming together for like a common purpose, to something that we all can kind of enjoy. And it just gives us like, you know, we don't have any sports teams. We actually don't really have a lot of anything cool at this school whatsoever. So, you know, finally we have something that makes us feel like a family. Like, I mean, I don't think I would wear, you know, an Art Institute sweatshirt out the school, but I definitely wear my theater troupe, you know, t-shirt out somewhere. Like, yeah, because, you know, we're family. It's awesome. So it's just important because you need that. We need that.
Like you see, like we have other clubs at the school, but the other clubs are pretty much program specific. Like fashion club, fashion, you know, fashion kids, culinary club, culinary kids. But with theater troupe, what makes theater troupe so interesting is that everybody from every program can come and, you know, act in a play, and we all get to give that outlet a little bit. I mean, we're all creative people. We're at an art school, you know, of course, it's a no-brainer, but at the same time, sometimes you maybe want just a little bit something different from what you're used to. So like maybe I don't want to make all like, you know, 60 hors d'oeuvres for this event that's airing off center. I want to come and do something a little bit wacky, something that's not a bit, it's uptight. So it's like that. It's like an outlet from the norm, besides, you know, like program specific type of stuff. And I appreciate that, because there's nothing else. Besides maybe jogging club, but it's too cold for that. Like what? Like, you know, you're in the wilderness. No, I'll pass.
And so I think, you know, with the continued utilization of the theater troupe, just like you were saying, you get the multidisciplined students to work together, because that's what life is. I don't only interact with chefs in my world. When I leave the building, I interact with all kinds of people. So this gives college level students an opportunity to really get that world experience, hanging out with other people, getting a job done. It gives them a sense of responsibility. It gives them a sense of ownership. Hopefully it gives them a sense of pride as well.
It gets people out of their shells, gets them to interact with people more. I have a really hard time speaking in front of people, especially in speech class. So like acting helps because you have all those people staring at you, and you have to get over it, otherwise the plays end badly.
Having a theater troupe at AI is great. It gives us something else to do. So that way we're not completely focused on school. We have a little fun. We have something else to do. The school, it shows that we actually have clubs. We have something that you can get involved in, especially if you don't really have anything to do out in Mason, because there's really not much to do other than eat in Mason. So AI Theater Troupe, yay. I say 100% do it. If you aren't in it, you better be. If you don't want to be, too bad. Eric Sprouse will find you. He found me. Trust me. First quarter, he made me do 2 plays as an actress. Next quarter, I didn't get to, but this quarter, he forced me to direct. So.
I did, at gunpoint.
Yes, he forced me at gunpoint to direct people. Do you not see this?